welcome to the Tom Sawyer Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. Grant Wall with Coach Sawyer, back for another great year of Warrior action as we look at what's going on and off the field with the Winona State football program. And Coach, we're going to get right into your first game of the year, last Thursday night against Bemidji State. The final outcome wasn't what you were looking for, obviously, but it was a tremendous atmosphere and a lot of really good things happened on both sides of the football on Thursday night.
Yeah, it really was. Everything, the table was set. We had a great crowd. The tailgate was fun. We had a good football team in there. They were defending North Division champs last year, so we knew we had a quality opponent in here. And the game started out the way we expected it to start out. We started out fast. We're up 27-3. Things are rolling even right down to the last second of the first half when we put the ball in the end zone. I mean, everything was clicking. And then unfortunately, we had a change at quarterback. John got hurt, and we brought in a couple other kids and had some things that didn't go right for the Warriors, obviously, and turned into touchdowns. And obviously it changed the complexion of the game. And we really struggled to hold on to that. I think we got a little bit back on our heels, which isn't typical of the Warriors, especially offensively. I was disappointed because something we've always prided ourselves over the last 15 years or so is that our offense can always and has always been able to rise to the occasion, and we just didn't. We had some errors and all across the board. It wasn't one group, one quarterback, or one O-line kid. It was a group effort, unfortunately, and we had to hopefully get that behind us and move forward. But the game itself was a lot of fun. The defense played exceptional. The special teams, for the most part, played pretty well. And even though we came down to a field goal chance to win the game at the end, we didn't make it. But again, opportunities were there. You got to make them in college football, or you walk away with a loss. And that happened to the Warriors.
Let's start on the defense because they played a phenomenal football game. Held Bemidji State, like you said, last year's North Division champions, to under 200 yards of total offense. Sacked the quarterback 8 times, 15 tackles for loss. So it was a great effort out of your defense all the way through defensive line, linebackers, and defensive backs.
Yeah, it was. It was a great effort. A lot of kids played. It was a part of that. What everybody remembers is the last 2 drives. The last drive when they had 2 4th-down conversions, and it's too bad because they did play exceptional for the first game, and a lot of new kids on the defense, and some new faces even to Winona. And those 2 corners, A.J. Shipp and Tevin Ivey, played very well, and along with Larry. But you look at the kids who were on the field and the way that they played, they deserve to win. Unfortunately, the one drive cost us defensively, and our offense, of course, sputtering didn't help us. But overall, that young defense really did play well.
8 quarterback sacks is just amazing to have in one game. And it started up front, Tyler Kubler getting 2.5 of those sacks himself. The pressure that Tyler got, how's he able to get into the backfield like that?
Well, I think, when you watch Tyler Kubler, he was a great high school wrestler. He went to the state championship a couple times at Eden Prairie High School, and he was undersized there too. And a kid that, at his weight, I'm not sure what he's at, like 270, 275 or something like that, but he plays low, plays physical, he's very strong. And a kid like that with that kind of flexibility and quickness really causes problems to big kids, and that's what happened. Bemidji had a couple big kids out there, and he was able to, with his quickness and his ability, to go right past him a couple times. So it was a good compliment to our pressure package, but Tyler played exceptional.
Let's move to the other side of the football offensively, and we saw in that first half what this offense is capable of. John Tagle, will start with him, threw the ball extremely well, 20 completions, 66% completion percentage, 240 yards. I mean, he just played a really good game, which is what you would expect from a guy as experienced as him.
Yeah, that's exactly what we expected from him. The defense at Bemidji was 15th in the country last year, and he comes out and throws for 250 in the first half. You start looking at like, okay, this is something that's going to continue the entire day. Obviously, he left the game and earlier in the third quarter, so that really put us in a bind throwing the football. It's unfortunate because John was on his way to a big game, and he's playing exceptional. So we get him back and let him do his thing. He can tear up some defenses in a hurry.
And he really seemed to have a connection with Josh Mikas, a sophomore who had 7 catches for 97 yards and caught a touchdown as well.
Yeah, the first one of the game, 45-yard bomb down the middle of the field, and all the way, to his last drive where he hit Josh on a couple hitch routes that turned into 10-yard gains and those kind of things. So those two have connected pretty well over the last 2 seasons and throughout the summer. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch. And you throw Alan May in there, and now we'll get Cameron Johnson back there this week too. So you start to get a full package of receivers out there with John Tagle. That's a pretty good combination.
A little bit different look at running back this year. Chichi Ojika slides into that starting spot. Not the same type of back as Rayon Simmons. Ray was really between the tackles. Chi-Chi's a make you miss type of guy. But what different element does Chi-Chi bring to your offense this year?
Well, he's just fast. I mean, he's just flat out can run. He was a 200-meter state champion in the state of Minnesota. He's a quick, elusive kid. He's been that way ever since he's gotten here. And obviously playing behind Ray, he's not going to get that kind of touches, so we have to use more backs. But he adds that element where, when he touches it, you give him a crease, and he could be gone on any play. And the same thing in the return game. So you get him doing those things, and pretty soon he's pretty explosive for your whole team.
Let's look forward now to a game against St. Cloud. Last time you played the Huskies, they were ranked in the top 10. They came in here to Winona, and you knocked off another top 10 opponent 2 years ago. What do you have to do to replicate that? What do you have to do to beat St. Cloud on Saturday?
Well, first things first, you got to take care of the football. We don't turn it over. We have a great chance to win. They're a very good football team, very good offensive team. Scored over 40 points last week at Southwest. They have one of those. They have a quarterback like we have in John. Clap Hockey is a great quarterback. We recruited that kid too and know his family pretty well. He's a very, very good quarterback. He runs the ball. He's our second leading rusher. He can throw it. And if he gets hot, he's very dangerous. So we got to keep him looking at different pictures. Got to put some pressure on him. Got to tackle him when he's out running the football. So we got our hands full with him. But in this league, you see that every week, maybe not to his level, but quarterbacks in this league are good athletes, and he's another one.
All right. And we're not going to put the Bemidji State game to bed just yet. When we come back here on the Tom Sawyer Show, we're going to take a look at the highlights from the Warriors' season opening game against the Beavers. All right, Coach, a great opening night for football against Bemidji State. Let's look at the highlights. The first highlight we're going to see, it's your first kickoff return of the game, Chi-Chi Ojika breaking one.
Well, he's so explosive back there. You got him and Paul Preston back there. In this particular one, Chi-Chi takes it from about 5 yards deep in the end zone. I was like, I'm not sure, so this is a good idea. And as he was going by me, I'm going, that's a great idea. So it was really fun to see him get out near midfield to get the game started for us. Big return by Chi-Chi.
Gave the Warriors great field position, and defensively, the story all day was getting into Bemidji State's backfield. 8 sacks. We're going to see one of them right here.
Yeah, just great pressure all day, and you can see those guys just kind of relentless approach there, and that's one of Tyler Kuber's. I think he had 2.5 or 3 sacks, so a big day for him.
And it seemed like each time you were getting to the quarterback, it wasn't just one guy, it was 2 or 3 guys who were staying in there as he was getting tackled.
Yeah, it truly flushed the kid out quite a few times, and as you see the multiple pressures from different guys, that's Colin Corcoran,
Terrell coming off the edge.
Coming off the edge, he was unbelievable. So, but a lot of fun stuff on the defense.
This is your first offensive play of the game.
Yeah, John, we worked on it all week and throwing the ball up to Josh Mikas. Obviously a great connection there for about a 45-yard play.
Another one, 8 quarterback sacks, like we said earlier, 15 total tackles for loss.
Yeah, and you can see there's 4 guys at the football right there. I mean, you can't beat that. And there's, Terrell right there, Corcoran's right there, and Kubler and Toby Frisbee and Parker Detchens. All those guys played exceptional.
Yep, it was all day in the backfield. And another little offensive weapon to play with, Paul Preston, the freshman.
Yeah, his first college game ever. I mean, this kid is dynamic. A lot of people remember Kevin Curtin a few years back. He reminds me of him. Tough kid, very competitive, and also very shifty and tough to find.
All right, John Tagland under center. He had a great game. He's going to find on a little play action his tight end, Alex Jensen.
Yeah, Alex had a tough time getting away from guys holding him across the middle, but he made a great catch there in some traffic, and John put it right on him. So that's also becoming a great weapon for us, those two.
Again, let's see how quickly the Warriors get into the backfield.
Well, again, if you're on the right-hand side here, you'll see Terrell coming around the edge and finishing people right here. And all the way from the backside is Will Sherrard, who graduated in December and then came back to play for us.
Great game running the ball by Chi-Chi Ojika as well. 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had a big day. He was a senior coming out to play his first, last home game at Winona kind of a thing. But he really played well. Big kick returns, and also, of course, the 3 touchdowns.
Another defensive stop right there. And then this was the last play of the first half. As the clock expires, Chi-Chi finds the end zone again.
Yeah, it was a great job right here. The guys got out in front, and he found a way to get in the end zone, something that you just started to see him do the last half of last year. So pretty excited for the Warrior offense.
And John Tagland right here finding Josh Mikas.
Yeah, Josh did a great job getting separation from the corner, and you could see the students down there in the end zone. That was awesome as well.
All right, John Tagland threw the ball very well. Zach Olstead, a freshman, makes that catch right there. And then defensively, again, we'll see more pressure.
Yeah, it was kind of like you said, the story of the game defensively is just continue to buzz the quarterback. All kinds of guys played roles. There's Parker Detchens coming off a block and making a sack.
And again, Parker on that last play, it was different guys all night long getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, again, there's Terrell and Morgan Weaver. Those two from both sides of the field meeting in the middle at the quarterback's kind of fun.
Down in crunch time, Spencer O'Reilly with a great throw to Harrison Barton.
Yeah, this is the last drive. As you can tell, there's only 9 seconds left on the clock. We got it down into field goal possession and just didn't get a chance to kick the field goal.
The last gasp here, Chichi Ojika breaking through with a big gainer.
Well, we had a penalty in the end zone in overtime, so that really hurt us. But here Chichi got us right back in position, a chance for us to put the ball up in the end zone. And we did make the final catch, but we had lots of opportunities. And a night where things went really wrong, obviously you can see there's a lot of right happening as well.
Absolutely, and we will be right back here on the Tom Sawyer Show. Welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm joined now by Winona State tight end Alex Jensen. And Alex, the score wasn't, the final outcome wasn't what you were hoping for last Thursday night against Bemidji State. But offensively, you guys still did a lot of good things. You finished the game, 4 catches, gained a couple big chunks of yardage on a couple plays. Just tell me what the offense did well on Thursday against Bemidji State.
Well, I think we executed real well in the first half, and I think basically it just came down to execution, and that's what we did well in the first half, and we didn't execute as well in the second half, and that's what ultimately ended up costing us the game. And I think if we just play hard and focus on our technique and execute properly, I think we should be fine heading forward. So
you guys have a lot of experience on the offense, especially in the trenches. Yourself, 4 starters on the offensive line's back. John Tegelman, the quarterback, is back from last year. How nice is it to have those guys with so much playing time under their belts working together?
Yeah, it's real nice, especially to have, for me, guys like Richard Lilla. He knows everything that's going on in the offense. He's been starting for 4 years now, and to have John is real nice. He's like an extension of having Coach Keller or Coach Sawyer out there. Basically, another coach is what it is. So he has always helped me along in the pass game, and Lilla too in the run game. So being a tight end, having to do both, those two have helped a lot, having them out there and having their experience and them sharing their knowledge, I guess you could say.
Talk about yourself personally. You were a preseason All-American. Didn't make a whole lot of catches last year, only 5 of them, but 4 times on those catches you found the end zone. What was it like to know that you were getting that recognition, and does that put a little more pressure on yourself, or do you just kind of take it in stride?
Yeah, it felt good, obviously, to get it. I was a little bit surprised, to be honest with you, having only 5 catches. But yeah, it felt good. I wouldn't say it put pressure on myself. I think it kind of motivated me a little bit throughout the summer when I found out the first time. I remember being excited, and then my next feeling was, kind of motivated to show, that I actually am deserving of that mention. So yeah, it was an exciting thing for me.
The tight end position you play here at Winona State is a really versatile one. Sometimes you're in the backfield, sometimes you're up tight on the line of scrimmage. Every once in a while, you're wide in the slot. What are your different responsibilities on different plays, and when you line up in different directions? And is that ever hard for you to keep straight in your own head?
Yeah, no, not anymore. It was coming in. Now that I've been here, this will be my 5th year. So figuring out the offense is kind of, there hasn't been as much of a learning curve as there has in the past, especially this year. And it is a versatile position, so you need to obviously be able to dominate the perimeter in your blocking game. You need to go block D linemen, linebackers, and then obviously in the pass game, they ask you to do a lot too. So that's something that, as a whole position group, I think we kind of take pride in being versatile athletes, or as like I tell the O-linemen, like I'm an extension of you guys, so, or the receivers even. So it's something that we take a lot of pride in.
Upcoming game, let's look forward to the game against St. Cloud. You've played the Huskies before. What do you have to do to come away with a W on Saturday?
I think the biggest thing for us is we just need to play fast and hard. Physicality, we need to come away with a physical game, and we need to be fundamentally sound and bring as much effort as we can. I think that's about it for us. It's a real simple formula. We just need to bring our effort, technique, and execute to do it the best we can. So.
All right, well, thanks very much for joining us today, Alex. We're going to switch sides of the football when we come back. Winona State defensive line coach Zach Barton will join me here on the Tom Sawyer Show. Welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show. I'm joined now by Winona State assistant coach Zach Barton. Coach Barton, you coached the defensive line, and the defense had a great game on Thursday night against Bemidji State. Held Bemidji under 200 yards of total offense, sacked their quarterbacks 8 times. It was a really, really solid defensive effort to start the year, don't you think?
It was good. It kind of gets overshadowed, but the kids came out and they played extremely, extremely hard, and we're proud of that. And this is something we need to build on and continue to get better.
8 sacks. That ranks 3rd nationally after one game. So a game where you really got after the quarterback. What was the key to be able What was the key to being able to put that much pressure on the Bemidji State backfield?
I think it starts in the back end. I don't think there were a lot of places to throw the ball. We've got some pretty talented kids back there that are covering some people up, and when there's nowhere to throw the ball, it helps. That's what we're built for. We're a 3-4 defense, and we're going to come after you. And we're going to bring more, hopefully, than you can block, and we've got some athletic kids that are doing a nice job getting to the quarterback.
One of those athletic kids is Tyler Kubler. 2.5 sacks for him against Bemidji State. What made him so effective in that game and got him into the backfield so much?
Tyler's always been a very, very athletic and strong kid. Now Tyler's, this is his 4th year in the system. And what Tyler's starting to realize is doing your job, that's enough. His eyes have gotten so much better. As before, he couldn't play at full speed because he's always looking in the backfield. Now he's doing his job and going full speed. And when he does that, he's very, very difficult to block. He's a very bendy kid, and he's extremely, extremely strong. Those 2 things for a defensive lineman are pretty good. So when he gets on the edge and he gets going full speed, he can be a handful, and it's something that we could continue to work on with him every day. Is just understanding where you fit in our defense. Sometimes it might look like the inside's open. You can't go in there. We got somebody that's going to that gap, and he's probably defensive line wise for our guys. He's got the best understanding of what we're doing, and now it's starting to show on the field. And that's what we need him to do every game for us.
A lot of experience coming back on that defensive line. You got Tyler on one side, Parker Detchens, who played extremely well last year in the middle, and then Will Sherrard on the other side. So it's a lot of experience rushing the quarterback for you guys.
Well, we got Will actually graduated and ended up coming back, sitting out this spring. So that's been great, added some depth for us and get some senior leadership. It's something I keep striving to him, is we need him to step into that role, and I think he's trying to embrace that, which is good. Parker's been phenomenal for us. I mean, I don't think anybody plays harder than that young man, and that certainly helps. That's a very difficult position to play. It's a grind in there, and he comes every day, not just to the games, but every day to practice to try to get better. And we've already talked about Kubler, and Toby Frisbee's a guy that we moved from nose out to end, who gives us some size, 290 pounds, which really helps. Another kid, Mike Ayubaby, has been fantastic for us. Another big kid, 6'3", 290, that actually plays nose and D-end, which has really helped us depth-wise.
What are you looking for in your defensive linemen? What do you want to see from the guys that line up there in the trenches?
Well, we just being a 3-4 defense, so I just need guys that, us being a pressure package, what we do a lot of is, it's a fun position to play, but I'm looking for tough, hard-nosed kids that we need to come to work every day. We're going to get after the quarterback when we can, but it all starts, we can't get off the quarterback unless we stop the run. And when we do that, we need to let our backers run. And those guys understand that, and they've embraced that. So if we do our job in the run game, then we can go have fun. And everybody wants to sack quarterbacks. That's the fun part. So I've got them to buy into that, and so if we get after the run, they know that it's their chance to get noticed a little bit. So they do a good job coming to work every day, and we grind pretty hard. And those guys have really embraced it as a unit, as a whole unit. They're a fun group to be around every day.
Another one of the hats you wear with this Winona State football team is working with the special teams. And one of the standouts of that unit is Chichi Ojika. Returned a kickoff 50 yards to set up Winona State's first touchdown against Bemidji State. What makes Chichi so special and so dangerous in the return game?
Chichi this year, is taking the role very, very seriously. He's out there every day catching kicks. We went through some things last year. We had a difficulty handling the football. If he can handle the football properly, he can break one at any time. So I've been really pleased with his intensity and his effort back there. We can't break a 50-yarder unless we catch the ball first. So he did a great job on Thursday night possessing the football. I mean, everything about his technique from his eyes to the tuck, everything was good. Then once he gets in the open field, it speaks for itself. The kid's dynamic. He's very, very fast, and he's doing a nice job. And that can be a huge advantage for us, for our entire team, is field position. And I've stressed that to him, and he's really bought into that and done a fantastic job. So I'm looking for more. We need to get past the 50. We need to break one. We need to break two. That's something that he's capable of doing. Every time he touches the ball, that puts an amazing amount of stress on the other team. So it's something that we're going to continue to get better at, and I'm looking forward to see what he does. We got it up to 50 this past week. Now I want to get it to the 40, the 30, the 20. Let's go house one.
All right. Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing how he does and how the Warrior defense does on Saturday night against St. Cloud. 6 o'clock kickoff from St. Cloud. It'll be a great game. Two good teams playing some really, really good football. That's all we have for today. Thanks very much for joining us. For Corey Prudell, Coach Sawyer, and everyone here at the Warrior Sports Network, we'll see you next week.